Presented by Listen Headlines, latest world news from trusted sources.
September 14, 1825 America, New York. NBA players will not need to be vaccinated against COVID ahead of new season. When the new NBA season begins October 19, players will not have to be vaccinated against COVID-19 to play, a source with knowledge of negotiations between the league and the players' union told CNN on Tuesday. September 14, 1824 America, New York. AOC seized her Met Gala moment. No one should be surprised that a Met Gala with a theme centering on America itself resulted in one of the more contradictory, controversial red carpets the event has ever seen. September 14, 1820 America, New York. Newsom looks to hold on to his job as California governor. Live updates. Polls aren't even closed, and some Republicans are already alleging fraud. 6 things to watch today. How to watch.
New York Times World News. September 14, 1815 America, New York. Blinken to face senators' questions on Afghanistan. Secretary of State Antony J. Blinken admitted no specific fault, but he conceded that he did not know whether a U.S. drone strike last month had targeted an ISIS terrorist or an aid worker. Secretary of State Antony J.
September 14, 1815 America, New York. Britney Spears deletes her Instagram. Source says, it was her decision. Britney Spears deleted her Instagram late Tuesday afternoon.
BBC News World. September 14, 1809 America, New York. Dramatic body camera video shows Wichita fire rescue. Body camera video shows firefighters rushing into a burning flat complex to save trapped residents.
September 14, 1756 America, New York. Florida woman pleads guilty to threatening to kill Vice President Harris. A Miami nurse has pleaded guilty for threatening to kill Vice President Kamala Harris, the Justice Department announced.
Time, September 14, 1740 America, New York. 5 big takeaways from Apple's iPhone 13 event, including one thing iPhone users should do right now. On Tuesday, Apple hosted another virtual presentation, showcasing both the beautiful scenery of California and a slew of new consumer products, including the expected new line of iPhones and updates to its tiniest tablet.
New York Times World News. September 14, 1733 America, New York. House bill raises chance for global pact to curb corporate tax havens. Several big details remain to be worked out before an international October deadline. The Paris headquarters of the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, whose members are negotiating a global minimum tax for multinational companies.
September 14, 1731 America, New York. Analysis. COVID school quarantines are a new division we don't need right now. After more than a year of virtual learning, America's schools are open, but that doesn't mean kids are all back at their desks.
New York Times World News. September 14, 1729 America, New York. Ex-U.S. intelligence officers admit to hacking crimes in work for Emiratis. They were among a trend of Americans working for foreign governments trying to build their cyber operation abilities. The men had worked for Dark Matter, a company founded by the Emirati government.
September 14, 1715 America, New York. See Dr. Gupta's response to Nicki Minaj's false vaccine claim. Rapper Nicki Minaj claimed on social media that her cousin's friend has swollen testicles after taking the COVID-19 vaccine. CNN chief medical correspondent Drive. September 14, 1707 America, New York. Man caught with machete near DNC is charged as new details of white supremacist views emerge. The man who was caught with a machete and bayonet-style knife near the Democratic Party headquarters was formally charged Tuesday, as more details emerge of his white supremacist ideology. September 14, 1632 America, New York. See the new iPhone 13. Apple introduced 4 new iPhones at its annual event touting environmental-friendly design features and its new video, cinematic mode. Prices begin at $699. September 14, 1629 America, New York. Palace confirms Queen Elizabeth sent message of congratulations to North Korea. Queen Elizabeth sent a message of congratulations to the people of North Korea on their National Day, a Buckingham Palace spokesperson told CNN.
RT World News. September 14, 1625 America, New York. Gates Foundation warns about future pandemic threats as COVID-19 response continues to snarl world economy. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, whose advice guided much of the global response to the COVID pandemic, has seemingly washed its hands of one virus while warning the world isn't prepared to deal with the next big pandemic.
September 14, 1625 America, New York, Woodward, Costa book details GOP infighting over how to handle Trump after election loss. In their new book, Peril, Bob Woodward and Robert Costa document how top Republicans struggled to manage Donald Trump's exit from the White House while also trying to convince him to help the party down the road.
RT World News. September 14, 1621 America, New York. Irish regulator launches 2 investigations into TikTok for handling of children's personal data and transfers to China. Ireland's Data Protection Commission has opened 2 investigations into TikTok, focusing on the platform's handling of children's personal data, and the transfer of information to China, where TikTok's parent company is based.
September 14, 1618 America, New York, eviction notices will get to renters sooner than most relief payments. Last month, approximately 7.7 million renters across the U.S. were behind on rent, according to the most recent data from the U.S. Census Bureau. Also, last month, the Supreme Court struck down the federal eviction moratorium that has been protecting tens of millions of renters from eviction since it was enacted last year.
New York Times World News. September 14, 1617 America, New York. Woodward's book on Trump describes generals' secret calls to China. In a sign of his concerns, the nation's highest-ranking military officer also gathered commanders to remind them of the safeguards in the nuclear launch procedures. Gen.
September 14, 1617 America, New York. 2 middle schoolers accused of plotting Columbine-style shooting. 2 middle school students have been arrested and charged with conspiracy to commit a shooting in Florida. CNN's John Berman talks to Sheriff Carmen Marceño about the latest developments.
BBC News World. September 14, 1604 America, New York. Comedian Norm Macdonald dead at 61 from cancer. The Canadian comic was best known for presenting a news parody on Saturday Night Live in the 1990s.
New York Times World News. September 14, 1600 America, New York. Your Wednesday briefing. Ignored warnings about India's COVID crisis. People who contracted the coronavirus received oxygen outside a house of worship in Delhi, India, in April.